NRIDA। आप सभी से मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, निवेदन है आप सभी से कि प्लीज अपने-अपने सीट पर बैठ जाएं ताकि हम इस कार्यक्रम को शुरू कर पाएं। और अब हम इस सेशन को शुरू करने जा रहे हैं। टेक्निकल सेशन नंबर 17। मैं इस सेशन के चेयरमैन श्री वी.के. राजावत जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि वो मंच पर आएं। श्री वी.के. राजावत जी, मेंबर NHAI, को चेयर प्रोफेसर के श्रीधर राजू जी से मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि वे भी मंच पर आएं। साथ ही साथ मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी डिस्कशन ऑन रोड सेफ्टी सिनेरियो एंड रोल ऑफ इंजीनियर्स बाय श्री पंकज अग्रवाल, चीफ इंजीनियर रोड सेफ्टी, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवेज। मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है इन्वेंटरी एंड कंडीशंस सर्वे यूजिंग NSV इन NHAI रिमैप्ड प्रोजेक्ट श्री तुषार व्यास जी से, जनरल मैनेजर टेक्निकल, और श्री अमित मुंजाल जी से, डायरेक्टर जनरल मैनेजर NHAI। कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ मेजर ब्रिज अक्रॉस Sharavati backwaters in Karnataka by Shri Narendra Sharma ji, Chief Engineer Regional Officer, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Bengaluru। सर आप सभी का बहुत स्वागत है और अभिनंदन है। मुझे तो महसूस हो रहा है कि सिर्फ 5 लोग ही मंच पे बैठे हैं, बाकी कोई है ही नहीं नीचे। जोरदार तालियों के साथ यहाँ पर स्वागत करेंगे हमारे जो मेहमान हैं उन सभी का। और अब मैं वेलकम के लिए मैं कोरी सर को बुलाना चाहूंगी मंच पे कि सर आइए और बुके के साथ हमारे सभी मेहमानों का स्वागत करेंगे और इस सेशन को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। तो कोरी सर, होस्ट स्टेट छत्तीसगढ़, जो कि स्वागत कर रहे हैं श्री वी.के. राजावत जी का। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर आपका। मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है प्रोफेसर के श्रीधर राजू जी से कि अभिनंदन है सर आपका। श्री पंकज अग्रवाल जी, श्री पंकज अग्रवाल जी, तुषार व्यास जी और श्री अमित मुंजाल जी, आप दोनों का भी बहुत स्वागत है। श्री अमित मुंजाल जी, साथ ही साथ श्री नरेंद्र शर्मा जी, चीफ इंजीनियर रीजनल ऑफिसर, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवेज, बेंगलुरु से हमारे बीच यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं। बहुत स्वागत है सर आप सभी का। और सर अब ये मंच मैं आपको सौंप रही हूँ। ओवर टू यू सर। थैंक यू।
Thank you. Once again, good evening. Uh, Today, the these three topics are very important. This is regarding the discussion on road safety scenario and role of engineers, which is very prominent nowadays in India because of, I think India is having highest rate of accident in India and fatalities. So this is one of the most important topic. We will be presented by Chief Engineer Road Safety, Mr. Pankaj Agarwal. Another topic for getting the condition of road known through automation is the NSV vehicles, which will be presented by my colleague from NHAI, Tushar Vyas. And the last topic of is the construction of major bridge across Shravati backwater in Karnataka, which will also be presented by Mr. Naren Sharma, my colleague, chief engineer from MoRTH. So now, first I will call Mr. Pankaj Agarwal, chief engineer, road safety, to make his presentation. Thank you. Sure, sure, that is right.
A very good afternoon to all of you and respected Chairman Shri Rajawat sir, co-chairman and panelist and the audience. The topic of road safety is well known to all of you. It's very important, as Chair has pointed out. But the road safety is not only limited to the national highway, because people think the ministry is responsible for the national highway. It is not the topic which is only limited to national highway, and that is the reason that it was decided to at least we discuss the scenario of road safety in India. The first, India is tasked or India is committed to reduce its fatalities by 50% by 2030. And for the past decades, we have an experience rather than reduction, these are increasing. And the experience show unless we involve the other stakeholders, means the state governments, and largely the accidents are, although national highways carry 33% of road fatalities, but the remaining fatalities needs to be addressed if we want to achieve the reduction in fatality at all India level. In this, so that is the main purpose. So if we see, even if we consider the national highway and the state highway, they together constitute around 6% or 6% network of the national highways, sorry, of the state roads, total roads in the India. And they together carry 50 to 5 to 50, 55 to 60% of road fatalities. What about the other categories of roads which are within the jurisdiction of the state governments? So one can see that the network is about 6.3 million. What to do with that vast network? This network is concentrated, and the problems of this network and the networks, which are the other roads, is totally different. And here comes the role of the road engineers. They how to approach. We have to have different strategies for the different category of roads. As far as black spots are concerned, the black spots are the areas which are prominent on the roads and can be easily addressed. But unfortunately, they constitute only 4.5% of the total road network on the national highways and the state highways. So, what about the remaining? We do not know what to do about it. So we have to have a corridor approach. If we want to address the problem of fatalities, we cannot leave the remaining 95% of the network without addressing the engineering problem. Now, black spots, we have a methodology for identification of the black spots. And what about the remaining network? For that, we have in the ministry experimented a bit and try to find how to approach the whole network. In that context, the Center of Excellence, IIT Madras, was requested to carry out an analysis, and he was given the task to carry out the all analysis with the help of whatever EDA data available with them. And it was found that 40% length of 80,000 kilometer road has not witnessed any death in the last 2 years. So we and the uh, with a criteria that the minimum length of the that corridor should be more than 5 kilometer. you will wonder that 14 kilometer is significantly higher than the black spot stretch we are focusing on. So we change our strategy and ask the questions. So what to do with these stretches? Is there an engineering fault in it? The point we when we compare this 14% length of 14% length of aggregated length with the remaining adjoining stretches, we found there is no engineering defect. These stretches are as good as the stretches where there is no depth. So now the where to lay the blame? There is a blame game that there is it's a fault of driver or it is a fault of some other event. So we have to identify what should an engineer should do as a highway engineer. What should we do to address these problems? So this is the point I want to tell you how to address this. The experience of black spot has shown that even if we carried out the short term rectification, just like signages, traffic calming measures, and small widening and provision of footpath, etc. Those are good enough. And the efficacy of such measures is 85%, meaning there is a reduction in accident and the death in 85% cases. As far as the reduction in black spot is concerned, it is effective up to 75%, meaning they when we carry out the short term measures, they come out of the definition of the black spot and become a normal accident and behave like a normal accident spots, and therefore become the part of the remaining 81% corridor. For example, if we resolve all the 4.5% black spot through short term or long term measures, so remaining network which is to be seen will be 85%. The question is now that if we want to achieve our objective of 50% fatality, we have to apply our mind how to approach rather than fixating on the black spot. We have to fixate our engineering skills on how to tackle the remaining 80% corridor. And this is the impact analysis which I just shared with you. The same experiences we had, details being carried out by the IIT Chennai Center of Excellence. And so my request for state government people, the strategy for the state highways which are the high speed corridors should be like national highway. For the remaining network which is low density and low speed corridor, the black spot should be addressed at first place, and maximum black spots are on the national highway and state highway, and remaining network which is about 6.3 million, because it is of minuscule of that, or you can say 6 million network you cannot cover on the basis of corridor basis. So EDAR data is already available now. EDAR facility is available to the all state government. There you can select the high accident, where there are high accident you can address those spots. You have to have a point basis approach, and we can achieve the maximum reduction in facility at that point. As regard the funding of those stretches are concerned, we can make a district level program and integrated district level program, including the national highway, state highway, and also the other roads, where you can have different strategies to address the different kind of problems. This we have already discussed. Now, after the black spot, what about the corridor which are not either falling in the white corridor portion and also not falling within the your black spot corridor? There you have to have a approach of corridor approach of at least you should carry out the road safety audit of 50 kilometer road length, and also observe the operating speed, and segregate the urban sections and the rural sections, which is the main region for accident, because as we design the road at the 80 kilometer per speed, but what happens when we operate on the road design of 80 kilometer, because of the roadside development and the population, because the road is shared by the people also in India and population density is very high. You cannot maintain the same operating speed over a longer length of the stretches. As you after every 10 or 15 or 20 kilometers, you will face one settlement and another settlement. So you have to adjust for the speed. That is the main reason for higher on such corridors of the higher fatalities. Higher fatalities. The best way is to segregate it speed wise. Suppose you have a operating speed, you know these are the operation consistent operating speed on this particular section, and for the remaining you have a different operating speed consistently. So you can plan accordingly. Either can help you to have an proactive approach as a black spot. In the black spot definition, you have to wait for 3 years. So in ministry, we experimented that how to tackle the, should we wait for another 3 years for the formation of the black spot? So it was decided no, it cannot be the business as usual. So first, wherever there is an accident, and there is a fatal accident, each and every spot should be visited, and after visiting it should be decided whether really some engineering measures are required or not. If no engineering measures are required, it should be recorded by the engineer, the road is perfect, there is no engineering measure is involved. Thereafter we can go on the spots where engineering measures are required, and whenever there are engineering measures are required, the first step to provide the temporary or short term measures, so that it should not qualify for the black spot. And we should observe, even if it is shifting, there is some reduction in the black spot formation. White corridor we have already discussed. Say that we should have of forgiving highways. First of all, for forgiving highways, we have to address the need of speed management. We have to decide what are the speed corridors. We have to segregate on the basis of speed. Then according to that speed, we have to provide the transition zone. Suppose there is an urban area is coming, so we have to forewarn him. Urban area is coming, proper signage should be provided. It should be followed by the traffic calming measures, irrespective of what kind of what was the design at the stage of designing it, what was the speed you considered. That should not be completely ignored. Only the settlement, if there is more number, the area is being used by the people, pedestrian, cyclists, the speed should be moderated irrespective of what is the speed, design speed at the time of design. That can only help us to reduce the death. And more infrastructure should be provided for the vulnerable road users, typically the pedestrian, cyclists, and even if wherever there is a high density of two-wheeler, so preference should be given to the some way to the two-wheelers. For the speed management, we do not have a right now any network of monitoring the speed. Even though some say that we should apply the ITMS, but it is at the preliminary. Although NHI has tried some, but we do not have enough data for the purpose of controlling the speed managers, and it requires the integration with the police and the technology people, so that the code should be integrated, or immediately we can make it, the enforcement should be make effective, but it is not happening at that stage. And one point I would like to share one table about the from the safe system approach. This is clearly mentioned that what is the safe system approach, safe system speed. So this should be kept in mind. I would like to rewrite road and road section with between possible crashes of cars with vulnerable road users. It clearly indicates that the speed, safe system speed in plain area should be 30 kilometer per hour. And this should be the criteria. Suppose there is a 100-kilometer road of two lane, and we have designed at the design speed of 100 kilometer per hour or 80 kilometer per hour. But whenever we reach such sections where the crash data indicates that there are fatality with the car or scooter and pedestrian are dying, we should not care about the design speed. We should only think that safe system if speed is 30 kilometer per hour, and somehow we should sacrifice the speed and design it as if it is a 30 and 40 kilometer per hour, irrespective of any code provision of IRC 73 or whatever. If we want to reduce the fatality, the same approach should be adapted preferably at the time of design. We should not be fascinated by the design speed. We should sacrifice that speed and try to build in the safety. Same way, the road section with intersection with possible side-on crashes. There will you will observe such thing where are the lot of junctions and the weaving lengths are not available and junctions are not properly designed. There, you can adopt the safe system where speed is 50, and the road section with possible frontal head-on collision. That is a two-lane road. The safe system the speed is 70. Two-lane road on the straight section where no junctions and the road and section with no likelihood of side-on frontal crashes. These are the expressway where there is very less junction, divided carriageway. There only you can adopt the safe system speed of 100 kilometer per hour. District Road Safety Council, we have constituted it is mandatory for the District Road Safety Council to have meetings. Unfortunately, District Road Safety Council are not equipped with the road safety auditors. So my request to all the state governments is, because IHE is ready to provide road safety audit training to all state government official and engineers, whosoever wants, free of cost. Only they have to bear the TADA cost. But nobody has approached the IHE or the ministry for the training of their engineers. So my request would be for all the chief engineers or all the people of the state government to send there at least 2 persons from each district who should be trained free of cost for the road safety audit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj, for giving the in-depth knowledge of the road safety scenario and perspective of the ministry in improving the road safety of the national highways in India. Now, I would like to request Mr. Tushar Vyas and Shri Amit Munjal for making a presentation on inventory and condition survey using NSV in NHAI.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Member NHAI and Chairman on the dais, Shri Rajawat sir, Professor Saab, my senior officers of the ministry on the dais, highway professional present here, my fellow officer present in the esteemed crowd. I would like to just present you a new initiative, a new kind of step taken by the NHAI, in which inventory and condition survey using network survey vehicle, that is a revamped project. It's not an ordinary NSV which we normally encountered in the contract. It's a new kind of machine from which the survey is going on. So I would like to share a few things about this initiative. As you know, these are the various type of defects, parameters which are there, which we notice on the highways when we used to inspect on the particularly on the national highways. So the limitation which is there in the present equipment based condition, which is the need at the present, what is the limitation of the existing system? First is that coverage parameters are limited, whether depth or width of the crack is there, how much rutting is there, what is the percentage. We don't know these things in exact detail, what is the roughness. Second, the accuracy and the scalability is also not very limited. And there is always a doubt on the data because a chances of manipulations is always there. So what is the existing arrangement of NSV? In the existing contracts, which ministry has already introduced NSV in its previous contracts, in which authority engineer or the independent engineer in the system conducts 2D testings, prepare report manually and submit that report through data lake to the RAM cell which is there in the NHI headquarters. And after data cleansing by RAM cell, the RAM submitted to RAM's portal. Now what is the issue in that? What is the issue in this system? The first issue is incomplete data collection. Second is which we have paid price heavily. The survey was conducted 6 months back and report we are receiving after 6 months. तो जो पॉट होल्स थे या जो क्रैक्स थे वो 6 मंथ तक उनका क्या हुआ या उनका क्या रहा वो कोई अंदाजा नहीं हुआ. And lastly, I have already told you there is always a scope of manipulation in the manual because manual intervention is there. This is the machine which now we are using for conducting the network survey vehicle. This is a very high class, modern, very modern machine, and the component of this is already given in the figure. And what we are doing at present is that in this NSV project, the data is captured by the centralized NSV agency, which NHI have engaged through a separate contract. In 48 hours, that data has been, whatever data has been collected by the NSV has been transferred to the NHI headquarter. In the NHI headquarter, there is a separate team, separate cell, which looks after these reports, in which 20 to 25 young engineer professional has been sent at a particular location in headquarter. And on those reports which has been sent by the NSV team at the ground, this report has been processed, the report generated and reviewed by the expert in the 10 days, and in 2 to 3 days the onboarding of GS dashboard पे आ जाती है वो. So this is the point I would like to highlight. अब इसमें जो reports which are there are 5+ reports which we are getting, which are having different parameters, which is showing the road deficiencies like roughness, rutting, potholes, cracks, एंड दिस आर ऑल बेस्ट इन क्लास जो एनालिटिक्स यूज हो रही है इसमें. और उसके साथ साथ हम जो अभी तक नहीं था वो ये करने जा रहे हैं और कर रहे हैं, जो एग्जिस्टिंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जो कंडीशंस हैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की रोड के मेंटेनेंस के संबंध में, क्योंकि अभी पिछले दिनों इन द previous days you have noticed there is so much high and cry over the road maintenance. So the road maintenance is the need of time now, and accordingly the we have observed कि जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में प्रोविजंस हैं हमारे, जो जिस हिसाब से कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को या कंसेशनर को रोड मेंटेन करनी है, वो भी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर और कंसेशनर नहीं कर पा रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है. और उसका एक बहुत बड़ा कारण भी ये था कि हमारे पास ऐसा डाटा ही नहीं था कि हम उसको ये बता सके कि तेरा ये नहीं आ रहा है या दिस पैरामीटर हैज बीन कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड. सो अकॉर्डिंगली दिस प्रोजेक्ट इज गोइंग ऑन. In this project, there is 6-month interval in which we are doing the survey. About 1 lakh lane kilometer is already under survey and the contract has been awarded, and NHI is planning to increase it to more than 15,000 kilometers in near future. In this, we have divided these kilometers into 5 zones all over the India, and there are 3 deliverables which we are getting. First one is RAM7, which is the old NSV data. Second, comparison of measured distresses with contract condition. This is very important because this parameter was not there in the previously which work is going on. And lastly, we are giving the data or result in the map shape so that everyone from politician to a normal person can understand what data has been given by the NSV. As you can see in the table, there is a particular survey which we have carried out, and as you can see, the limitation of the value bump integrator is 2200, and L1 is the leftmost first lane, in which you can see there is a red value marked, which shows that the value here exceeds the required value. So accordingly, and in the next below slide, you can see the pure whole network in which the color coded roads have been shown with conditions. This is one particular aspect of this in which you can see there is a crack. This is particular result of this NSV vehicle NSV survey which we are carrying on, and in this we can also see a pothole with location. The our survey is giving location also, type of defect. In the left part there is a cracking, in the right top slide there is a pothole, and as you can see सिवियरिटी ऑफ क्रैकिंग के पैटर्न पे उसको हमने कलर कोड भी किया है. और अगर क्रैक की साइज 150 mm से ज्यादा हो जाती है, इफ द क्रैक साइज इज मोर देन 150 mm, देन इट इज क्लासिफाइड एज पॉटहोल. चैलेंज हमको इस प्रोजेक्ट में क्या चैलेंज मिले? पहला तो डिस्ट्रेस मेजरमेंट मेथड क्या लगाई जाए, तो हमने ऑस्ट्रेलियन रोड रिसर्च बोर्ड का जो एक मॉड्यूल है उससे उसके आधार पे जो क्रैक की लेंथ है उसके दोनों साइड में 0.25 मीटर विड्थ का करके, और that area 0.5 meter square which is shown for these two cracks, and for alligator cracks the lane width and the affected map cracking का जो width है या length है उसको मल्टीप्लाई करके हमने उसको निकाला है। सेकंड जो चैलेंज था वो नॉन यूनिफॉर्म एक्सेप्टेबल लिमिट्स इन द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्रीमेंट। जो हमारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हैं, हैम के हैं, ईपीसी के हैं, डिफरेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री में या एनएचआई में, उन्हीं में डिफरेंट जो मतलब जो डिफरेंट शेड्यूल्स हैं, in that schedule some says this value or some says some other value, and lastly reporting interval of for differential payment distress, ये भी एक हमारे सामने समस्या रही। now challenges ये हो गया। now as you can see this is one of the example in which I will like to highlight what is the contract difficulties are there। so schedule के में जो हमारा हैम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसमें जो है as you can see roughness 2750, and that roughness in is in APC contract is it 1800 mm. So these are this particular two stretches, two contract belong to a one stretch only, but in the same one is having 2750, other is having 1800. One is having time for repair 180 days, other is having time for repair 30 days. Such kind of discrepancies are there in the contract. Now I would like the deliverables of the NSV and other things which will be explained by my colleague Mr. Amit. Please come.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Sir has given the context of this revamped NSV project which NHCI has now started. I will discuss what we are now getting, what are the outcomes of this project. So we have 3 deliverables in this project instead of 1 which we were getting from last many years, which is deliverable number 1 in this project also. We have kept this deliverable as intact in this new project, which is related to RAMs. All the data required by the RAMs we have kept intact in this project also. But additionally, 2 deliverables have been added. Second deliverable is comparison of the measured distresses with contract acceptable limits. This is very useful for professionals working in highway sector, because most of the time we are doing the contract management. In this project, we have linked the NSV outcomes with the contract acceptable limits. This table, if you can see, shows one of our project which is under O&M. This project COD was issued in September 2018, and with 15 years of maintenance, it's a long time left where the concessionaire has to maintain this road. And these the distresses, 4 different distresses. This NSV test was done on 52 lane kilometer, and in this contract agreement, based on this contract agreement acceptable limits, the total lane length which is not fulfilling the acceptable limits is 48.63%. It means around 50% of the road is not fulfilling the contract acceptable limits. Our deliverable number 3 is showing this huge data, which is normally in Excel files. Lakhs of cells are there. It's difficult to analyze it quickly. We have developed a tool in which these distresses are being presented in GIS color-coded maps. I can show this in real time, that this is the project, and if I have selected roughness as the layer on this GIS map, we can zoom in and see based on roughness, this color-coded map has been prepared. We can see all 6 lanes with the chainage where roughness is under permissible limits, that is 2000 mm per kilometer, where it is in under fair moderate condition, which is 2000 to 2400 mm per kilometer, which is shown in orange or yellow in this, and the stretches, the sections where it is not fulfilling our contract acceptable limits, that is red. In this, we have also taken the photographs of portholes. If I select this layer, which is photos of the portholes, we can see it will pop up all these photographs. And if we select this photo, we can even zoom in and sitting in our office and see different cracks and potholes. We don't need to go to site if we have this kind of data with us. So this is a new deliverable we have added. This was the project under O&M. We have also done, for understanding purpose, the one project which was recently completed, and the proposal came for issuing of completion certificate. When we did this NSV testing with this under this new revamped project, you can see that 30.18% of lane length is not fulfilling our acceptable limits. Okay. So this project has been planned in a phased manner. Phase 1 will cover around 25,000 kilometers, capturing around 1 lakh lane kilometer. We will follow the existing contract acceptable limits in this phase, and phase 2 will cover all the O&M stretches, which will be more than 40,000 kilometer center line. And in the phase 2, we have planned that introduction of PCI will be there, but we will be glad to inform that we have shifted this objective from phase 2 to phase 1. Now, in the current project itself, we are doing PCI categorization. And in phase 3, we will focus on the entire NH network, and the changes in the MCA will be done to capture PCI as output in our O&M project. This thing is also being planned to be shifted to phase 1. This is the current status of our revamped NSV project. Of around 1 lakh lane kilometer, we have surveyed more than 20,000 lane kilometer. We have achieved already 20% of our progress, and we have accepted the reports of around 6,500 lane kilometers. So the forthcoming objectives in this project is, we are going to integrate our NHI data lake with this NSV data. Also, the distresses being reported through this NSV testing shall be integrated to the NHI One mobile application, which is being used by our supervision consultant, our field units, so that these defects which have been observed by NSV can also be rectified in the existing system. Also, the issuing of these notices, alerts to the supervision consultant, to contractor concession, is also being planned in an automated way. And this new suggestion also we have received, that based on this quality data what we are getting, now we can deploy a machine learning based model to predict the road condition in the future also. So way forward of NSV in NHAI is that, as we already mentioned, that we will be expanding to the entire NH network. We will be doing road condition scoring based on PCI. Also, we are planning to do the contractor or concessionaire rating based on the PCI, so that in future this information can be used in bid evaluation also. And the last but not the least is continuous engineering equipment improvements, where our technical standards, our acceptable limits shall be improved based on the learnings. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. I think I must place on record that Amit Munjal has done excellently in NHI for developing this NSV cell in NHI, and he has put a lot of efforts in developing this module. So I must appreciate the work done by Amit Munjal.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And particularly as a way forward, NHI is now moving further for rating of the contractor based on the NHI One application, in which each and every defect is to be lively recorded on the NH One application, in which there is an automatic system of putting a penalty on the contractor. So should not be any kind of subjectivity, and everything is on live, everything is on the record. So it will put a automatic penalty on the contractor for not maintaining the road in good condition or in a bad condition, depending upon the set criteria already fixed. So we are moving in this direction further, and then utilizing the AI, we will improve further. So I think this will pave a very way forward for NHI to maintain good quality road. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Shri Narendra Sharma for construction of major bridge across Shravati backwater in Karnataka. ये छोटा रहा है. Good evening to all. First, I give the I introduce myself. I am Naren Sharma, presently posted as regional officer in Ministry of Road Transport and Highways at Bangalore. Today, I am going to make a presentation on the construction of major bridge on Saravati backwater on NH 369E. The NH 369E connects the NH 69 at Sagra town and passes through and connects join the NH 766C. There is missing link between two places, that is the Kalsa Bali and Amber Godlui. Therefore, Ministry sanctioned a project called Major Bridge at Saravati Backwater in March 2019 with a cost of 423 crores. The civil cost of the project was 363 crore. After tendering, the project was awarded at a cost of 360 crore to Messrs. Dilip Buildcon in JB Jangi. The project was started in the month of December 2019. The period of construction was 3 years, but the work could not completed on time due to some water level issue in the backwater. During the 21 and 22, there was heavy rain in Karnataka, due to which the level of water was too much and therefore the pile capping work was affected. Therefore, the EOT of 713 days was granted to the contractor and the rescheduled completion date was November 24. But the work is still going on. At present, the progress is about 90% and probably the work will be completed in the month of July 2025. These are the project features. The designer for this project is the Infinite Civil Solution Private Limited. Authority engineer is the RB Associates, and there is also proof consultant TPF Engineering. The design consultant, mainly the Mr. Pankaj Das is the designer, who is stayed in Dublin in Ireland. Earlier he designed our Narmada bridge also. The first he provide the design, then it design goes to the proof consultant, and thereafter it goes to the third party IIT Mumbai, and subsequently the same was implemented on in site. The whole project consists of the two parts. One is the bridge portion. The length of the bridge portion is the 2125 meters, and the length of approach is the 4.055 kilometer. The clear carriageway of the bridge is 11 meter. The total deck width is 60 meter because we provide 1.5 meter footpath on both the sides. There, the bridge portion is having two portions. One is the extra dose portion of the 740 meter, and second is the balance cantilever portion, that is 1385 meter. Foundation, we provide the pile foundation cast on site, and the dia of the pile is the 1800 mm. Substructure the also cast on site, and it is a modified A-shaped pylon. The superstructure is we use the pre-casted segments, and the upper pylon length of the upper pylon is 38.5 meter. It is we provide the 6 stay cables on both the sides. It is semi-fan shaped, and total there are the 18 spans. A1 and A2 are the abutment, and the maximum span size is the 177 meter, and for which the middle 5 middle portion is the extra dose portion,
which is having the 104.5 span on both the side and 3 spans of the 177 meter. This is the extra dose designed from on pier P4 to P9, and this is a balance cantilever bridge. We provide the 3 modules of the 450 meter for the balance cantilever so that it works as a continuous beam structure. And in the last A2 abutment side, we provide 35-meter box girder. Because in the our initial DPR, this span was not there, but designer provide to place the abutment on land, and therefore he provide the a span of 35-meter between P17 and A2. That this is the physical progress at present. All the works, substructure work has already been completed. Casting of segment has also been done, and now only the erection is remaining. At present, about physical progress in terms of the amount we made the make the payment till now, it is 90%. The material for concrete, we use the high grade concrete, and M60 and M65 we used. Pre-stretching steel LRPC, we used low relaxation pre-stretch concrete strands with the high tensile strength of 1860 MPa. Stay cable are also LRPC strands, and we use the anchorage for pre-stretch steel the 12, 19 and 22, and for the stay cable we use the anchorage 37 and 48. In 37 anchorage 37 number, we are using only 32 and 33 strands. The remaining strands will be dummy, and if in future if any failure or anything happen, any strand, we can replace at that time. Because we are using the iso tensioning in the stay cable, the each and every strand is tension. We stress each and every uh, each is tendon individually, so that in future any strand or tendon can be replaced easily. Expansion joint, we provide the modular expansion joint, 2 types of the modular for 500 expansion expansion and the 750 expansion. And the bearings, we provide the spherical bearing and pod PTFE bearing, but we provide the expansion joint only at 6 locations. The location, the both the abutment side and the box cutter, the last box cutter piers, and where the modules are going to change from one module to other module. This is the pile. The dia of the pile is the 1800 and from P5 to P8. That is the extra dose portion. The depth of the pile is about 32 meter and socket depth is 5 meter. We designed all the piles as end bearing. The rock type of rock is the granite. In this is the aerial view of the pile casting done at the site. Thereafter pile capping. We did the pile capping by 2 methods. First is the coffer dam, and second is the scrape facial slab casting. In coffer dam, we fix the coffer dam, then thereafter we dewater the pile cap, and then we remove the axis pile by hydraulic breakers. Then we provide the reinforcement, fixing the reinforcement, shuttering. Thereafter we pour the concrete. Second is the scarifacial method. We use this scarifacial method in most of the portion, except the towards the abutment side. In this, we provide first the first we insert a for pile construction. We insert a liner. Here, when we are going for pile capping, we first remove the extra liner, then we remove the extra concrete. Thereafter, we provide the reinforcement, etc., and then place the concrete. And in between, we also provide the scarifacial slab. That slab will remain even after construction. This is the pylon. The pylon has the three segment portions. The first is this is the pile cap. Thereafter, there is a lower pylon. The height of the lower pylon is the 15 meter. Then pylon table and upper portion is the upper pylon. The height of the upper pylon is the 38.5 meter. Second picture is for the pier. This is the pile cap. Then pier. On the pier, we constructed the pier cap table. This is the picture on the site. We constructed the lower pylon in 3 lifts. In the first, in each lift, we constructed 5-meter height, and in the first lift, we used the base of the pile cap for construction. In the second lift, we anchored the shuttering with the lift 1 portion. Subsequently, we cast the lift 3. This is the pylon table drawing. This is the shuttering. This is the on-site pictures. Similarly, for the pier tables. And thereafter, the precast segment casting. For precast segment casting, we use the short line casting method. In the short line casting method, the permanent bulkhead is provided on the right side, a temporary bulkhead on the left side. Then we cast first segment, and thereafter we move the first segment towards the left, which will act as a mesh segment for the further or subsequent segment. If the number of spans are much and size of the spans are less, then we use the long line casting method. This is the lifting. Before this, we use the Eurocode lifting system. This is designed for the 32 meter per second wind speed, and deflection parameter is the L by 400. The L is the length or of the roll the lifting mechanism. There is a beam. The length of the beam is the L. This is the segment erection. In the after construction or completion of the pier table or the pylon table, we lift the first segment, and the first segment is stitched with the pier table. Then after we do the stretching, and then after the subsequent segments were lifted, and we attached with the previous segment by glue, and thereafter we did the tensioning and stretching in the tendons. This is the tendon versus segment erection. This is our segment tendon layout drawing. Thereafter, at present, the stay cable erection is going on site, and we are using the technology of the fresh net for the cable stay erection. And we are providing the stay cables. First, we erect the 6 PSC segments. Then after we erect the stay cables, install the erection on the 7th segment. Thereafter, we leave the 2 again. Then total 6 stay cables are used. The challenges. We encountered 2 things. Therefore, our work has also been delayed. Number 1, during the 20 to 22, there was heavy rain in Karnataka, and water level was too much, and it was more than 540 meter, because this bridge is being constructed on the reservoir side of a dam. Therefore, for the electricity generation, they have to maintain minimum water level of the 540 meter. But accordingly, our pile capping activity was designed. But due to the heavy rain as well as some activity was going on in the dam, they did not lower the water level below the 540. Therefore, our pile capping activity was suspended for more than 1.5 years. But that time we utilized by casting the segments, and we completed all the casting during that period. Second problems encountered when the last year, when there was less rain in Karnataka, and our water level go down the 545 meter. because for erection there is a requirement when we transport the segment to from wash to pile cap, the minimum water difference is required. And thank you.
Thank you, Naren, for giving the detail about the how you constructed the bridge and its challenges. Thank you. Now, floor is open for questions. Yeah, we have, yeah, please, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Hello,
Actually,
hello.
one question.
Yes.
Excuse me. One question is received by Shri P. Yuganand, Deputy C, Highways Department, Tamil Nadu. I agree with you. See, this is what I told you. Even if you carry out the road safety audit and make a good road, which is compliant to all the codal provision, still the accident will not reduce. The problem is simply making a good road does not eliminate the accident because it is a multi-factor event, which includes human behavior, vehicle, vehicle engineering, and also the environment in which you are uh, basically traveling. So when role of road engineer is to provide a good infrastructure, which NHI has already done. The next step into it, the emergency care, speed management, and see, even if you have provided the good roads and despite all these things, accidents are not reducing, which you have already mentioned. It is not the fault of audit. It is the fault we have not addressed the problem at ground. Other problems we have not addressed, and that is why we have a 4.5% black spots and the white corridor 14%. What about the remaining? The remaining has to be addressed in a different manner. You have to press in the emergency care system. You have to basically measure the operating speeds, and you have to control the behavior of the means the people by enforcement, by campaigning, and by licensing system. All other things, when will they that all these things will come together? Then only fatalities will come down.
Hello, sir. My question is regarding the Sharavati Bridge. I am Inderjit Ghai from Chandigarh. इसमें आपने पाइल्स दिखाई हैं कोई तो सभी पाइल्स का जिनकी लेंथ एक जैसी है उनका डिजाइन एक जैसा ही था या उसका डिजाइन डिफरेंट था जी? तो कुछ पाइल्स तो आपकी लोएस्ट वाटर लेवल के और पानी के अंदर है, कुछ पाइल्स आपकी जमीन के अंदर है। पाइल कैप के लेवल जो कि मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, पाइल कैप का लेवल कुछ तो नेचुरल ग्राउंड के ऊपर है, कुछ जगह पर नेचुरल ग्राउंड पे बहुत ज्यादा ऊपर है। तो वो तो ऑलरेडी एरोडेड सरफेस है, तो एक जैसा कैसे डिजाइन था ये? दो स्पैन में आपने दिखाया है कि पाइल कैप पानी के ऊपर ही लोएस्ट वाटर लेवल के ऊपर आपने रेस्ट कराई है, नेचुरल ग्राउंड काफी नीचे है, तीसरी या चौथी स्लाइड थी, तो एक जैसा डिजाइन तो मेरा ख्याल नहीं वर्क करेगा।
Sir, the sizes of all the piles are same. The starting segments, starting this only. I will come back.
Amit.
Yeah, this question is related to the calibration of NSV equipments. In this revamped NSV project of NHAI, all the equipments being used are calibrated by OEMs. So that problem is not, we are not facing that problem.
And now, Rajesh, your query.
ये ब्रिज में जो लास्ट में आपका ये है बैलेंस्ड कैंटिलीवर पोर्शन, उसमें एक्सपेंशन जॉइंट का क्या प्रोविजन रखा हुआ
इसलिए
उसके लिए कोई स्पेशल
नहीं, we are
केयर लिया क्या?
providing 6 modular expansion joint only.
ये बीच में स्लैब भी हैंगिंग है उसमें? नहीं
नहीं, because the first expansion joint at the location of A1 and A2 last, in between we are providing 4, because for balance cantilever portion we are using a one segment of the 450 meter. So we are providing one expansion joint on the one side and other side, and similarly one at the end of the extra dose portion and end of the starting portion and end portion. And the last expansion joint on the box girder 35-meter segment.
Uh, इसमें this bridge was situated on the reservoir portion of a dam site. What are the compulsions that we have gone for a multiple size of spans, different size of spans?
No, no, in our design, initial design, it is not like that. But this design is provided by the contractor. They modified and optimize the demand as per design as per the cost saving.
Another question asked by Mr. Nikhil Narang, Executive Engineer MoRTH, regarding the root cause analysis format standardization. So I will request Mr. Pankaj Agrawal to examine this issue in the ministry and if possible to standardize the root cause analysis format in the ministry. Yeah.
See, there are two ways for carrying out the root cause analysis, and root cause analysis is a very costly affair. The way we observe it is not like that. If you want to go from the perspective of policing, they do not have whatever they have legal provisions. They see the accident from the legal perspective. Who is at default? Whether driver is default or the it is because of the road fault or it is because of the vehicle fault. If you want to carry out the exact root cause analysis, then you should have a basically crash analysis system, which IIT Delhi is already carrying out. It used to carry it out, and it is, I think, with the name of ICAT. So they have also approached us for the root cause, and the purpose of root cause analysis is to, if we can modify the standards, or if we can improve the vehicles, or some other methodology or the policy in the policy making, that can be done. But it is a very costly affair. Normally, 100 to 150 accidents, very severe accidents, usually carried out for the root cause analysis. And there is a proposal in the ministry with the IIT Delhi. We are considering it because at this stage, that will not allow. I mean, so that will not help us in reduction of 50% fatalities. So root cause analysis should be carried out. But whatever we are already basically have lot of distance to cover, and we have not also not carried out the fundamentally short-term measures on all the black spots. We have not provided the crash barriers. We have not provided the pedestrian-friendly footpath in the urban areas. We have not provided the hand railing. At least those should be provided first. Then only, even if we carry out the route analysis, finally we have to implement whatever the measures has to be there. At least we should carry it out what is available in the codal provisions. That's it.
Thank you, Pankaj. Yeah, Rakesh.
Hello, just it's a addition to the suggestion to just regarding the root cause analysis of the accident. Actually, we are already doing the root cause analysis of accident on the World Bank project GNSCP ministry. Why cannot we think that we have to adopt at least ongoing project where some accident has to be happen, where the contractor and authority engineer are in place? We have to do some root cause analysis to have a data for the long-term mitigation of the analysis. We can think on this line because already ministry is doing on the GNSCP World Bank project. I have implemented. So on all
We have
other
a
project,
proposal.
we have.
I agree with that. We have already in talks with the IIT Delhi. Root cause analysis will help us to modify the policies, and if there is any improvement in the vehicle is required. As regard the human behavior and the provision of infrastructure, what I mean, it is still there is a big gap. At least whatever the additional safety measures, we should provide that along with the root cause analysis. It is not a panacea. Even if we have a root cause analysis, it will only tell us what are the causes. Again, we have to make a policy and implement it. What I am saying that still we have a lot of gap existing codal provision in implementation of the existing codal provision for this purpose of safety. We should cover it that if we want to achieve the 50% reduction in facility. We have a lot of things to do, but whatever is on the plate, at least we should finish that. Root cause analysis will be parallel activity, and whatever in the meanwhile, if you want to modify the codal codes, if you want to modify the policy, that should be done. And for your information, 74,000 death and fatalities are from two-wheelers. You carry out root cause analysis, car What about the two-wheelers? Those are the most vulnerable road users beside pedestrian. 74,000. There is no safety device yet been developed all over the world to save those two-wheelers people. You have a seat belt in the car. What about the two-wheeler? 74,000. You carry out root cause analysis, two-wheeler person. If in every other accident, you will find a two-wheeler person has died. They are not wearing helmet. What will happen with the root cause analysis? You first make them wear the helmet. That is the first point. Then you show there is a reduction in facility. Still, is something is left out. Whatever to be in the road, if you want to segregate the lane, you do that. Then you come to the other point. You have to be progressive like that.
Thank you. Now, I think.
Hello, sir. One question, sir.
Yeah, one question more. Just, yeah.
Sir,
Last.
this is Manish Kumar from Ministry of Road Transport
Yeah.
Highways. My question is from NSV team. Actually, it was very fascinating studying and listening about the new technology revamp NSV. And my question is not just question. I just want the elaboration about the frequency of NSV done, revamp NSV done, and what are the process of doing the NSV and what time it takes completing it, and what are in the contract. Mostly, it details what I asked. Thank you.
Yeah.
Regarding frequency, we measure different different functional distresses of the payment. One of which is roughness, and the timelines given as per our contract agreement is 6 months. So, if we have done NSV on a stretch and we found some sections are not fulfilling the requirement, so we have to give at least 6 months to the contractor. So the minimum period is 6 months, and that's why we have kept NSV testing in 6 months in this system.
Whether it is whether it takes care of the monsoon season, whether 3 months before the monsoon and 3 months after the monsoon,
Yes,
it will be a good. I think.
Yeah, this scheduling is done as per this suggestion only, that one cycle is done before monsoon and one after monsoon.
And what's the process of the NSV time taken by the NSV to create this data? What you have shown in the real time?
That was discussed in the one of the slide, that we have given 10 working days to our NSV agencies to from the date of ending of the survey to the submission of final reports to NHAI. So only 10 working days. It's a very difficult task, but we are doing it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now no more questions. Now with this, we are concluding the session. So I request Professor Sridhar Raju to give a concluding remarks.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. This technical session 17, I remember the statement, the best was preserved for the last. This was one of the best presentations I have seen. And data speaks more than words. As per Pankaj Agarwal Saab, we saw the data. And this is one of the important aspects, especially the road safety. Even our Honorable Minister spoke about this road safety. 33.8% fatal accidents. Not a small figure. It's a huge figure, and they have taken lots of precautions to reduce that. And based on some of the simple techniques, they have reduced accidents. And there was also discussions on questions related to the root cause analysis. They are doing that, which will reduce the accidents to further low level. And also, it doesn't occur only on national highways or state highways, as mentioned by the speaker. It is also on other roads. Yeah, and two-wheelers are most vulnerable. Yeah, that's one more aspect to be considered. And then, as we rightly mentioned, prevention is better than cure. During design construction itself, some of the road safety aspects to be considered, especially in terms of geometrics, that was highlighted by the speaker. Then assess whether engineering measures are required or not, or any simple experiential measures also can lead to road safety. Yes, we have to follow that. Always it is not necessary to go for a detailed analysis. Wherever simple technique is required, we have to follow that. This was highlighted by the speaker. He stressed upon converting fatalities to a minor injury. Even major injury is very, very dangerous. Many a times it is more than fatal accidents. So he stressed upon reducing it to a minor injury by taking some precautions. So he also stressed upon the road safety audit and training for road safety audit. Yeah, that's one of the important aspect. And overall, this was a very, very good topic. And this is the topic of the day. The whole nation is thinking about it. and lot of measures have been taken in this aspect. It was highlighted and very interesting to see the data. The next is about the collection of survey using the NSV revamped projects. Sri Tushar Vyasji and Amit Munjalji, they were so passionate about explaining what they have done. It is all about the payment condition index and payment management system. We have been talking about this for a very long time and now it has been implemented. It's very happy to see this. And then they spoke about the modern equipment, 48 hours to transfer the data, and within 15 days, the data is available. Also, mapping this with GIS is one of the point to be appreciated and noted. And we can see we can also map with what is the contractual document and where we are at the present. That is one more highlight of the whole of this topic. And it was very interesting. And seeing the number of questions itself, we know that what is the importance of this payment management system in the present day, and using technology, it's quite interesting. And then it can also give out different payment distresses, and they have done 1 lakh lane kilometer. That's also a very good progress. And overall, this was a very good presentation. Then the last presentation was construction of major bridge across Sharavati backwaters. And Narendra Sharma ji gave a very good insights. Picture speaks more than 1,000 words. So he explained everything through photos and pictures. I've been following this through social media. This is one of the bridges, very beautiful. Yeah, I think Shimoga will be remembered for the bridge, like the Golden Gate Bridge. We remember California like that. We will remember this bridge. And then they have faced lots of challenges. One of the heaviest rainfall, which was not expected, was uh, in that region, and it's also a heavy rainfall area. That was one of the reason for delay in this project. He also mentioned how did they overcome those challenges. He gave the details of the drawings and 90% of progress with all challenges. I think it requires a big round of applause from the audience for this wonderful project. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Thank you, Professor Raju. Now, with this, we conclude this session. I also congratulate all my speakers, presenters, who presented excellent ideas. So, thank you very much. And we conclude this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Shri S.K. Kori, Chief Engineer, Chhattisgarh, to come on the dais and present memento to the Chairman, Shri V.K. Rajvat, Member NHAI, and Co-Chairman, Professor K. Sridhar Raju, Professor BITS Pilani, Hyderabad campus.
I know, sir.
Now I request again Shri Kori sir to present memento to Shri Pankaj Agrawal, Shri Tushar Vyasji, Shri Tushar Vyas,
I saw that and take that this one water.
Shri Amit Munjal, and Shri Narendra Sharma. Thank you, sir. As we inch towards the closing of the illuminating session, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all dignitaries and every person present in the hall today for making this session successful. Thank you so much.
ये हटा दूं और यहाँ लगा दूं मैं इसको तीनों तीनों डाल रहा हूँ, तीनों
एक फोल्डर बना दीजिए।
एक मिनट, तीनों इसमें है, ये तीनों, इसका सेशन का नाम रख देते 17 सेशन।
हाँ हाँ सर।
17